Coffee went cold on the table. The phone stayed quiet all day, and nothing dramatic happened, and somehow that was okay. The city moved like it always does, cars passing, strangers talking loud. Life didn't notice the weight they used to pull everything down. There was a time every small delay felt personal, felt unfair. Every unanswered message turned into something hard to bear. Now silence doesn't feel like failure, it feels like space to breathe. Not every moment needs fixing, not every thought needs belief. It took a while to understand, surviving doesn't look heroic. Sometimes it looks like getting through, ordinary, quiet, unnoticed. These were the days that didn't break us, didn't shine, didn't scar, just simple moments teaching how strong we already are. These were the days that didn't break us, no headlines, no proof, just learning how to keep going when nothing special happens to you. Still knock sometimes at the edges of the night. Doubts still speak familiar words like they're entitled to stay inside. But they don't sit as heavy now, they don't demand control. They sound like echoes of a past that doesn't own the whole. Plans change shape without warning, some dreams quietly expired. But not everything that ended was something truly desired. Closed direction was something meant to be lived. Growing doesn't feel like winning, it feels like letting go of fights that were never meant to be fought every single night. These were the days that didn't break us, didn't tear, didn't bend, just carried us forward without needing to pretend. These were the days that didn't break us, no rescue, no sign, just showing how much strength exists in staying alive and aligned. Mornings feel less demanding now, they don't ask for certainty. The future doesn't stand in judgment, it waits patiently. There's comfort in routine and knowing where the keys are kept, in laughing at small things and getting enough rest. The past doesn't chase like before, it doesn't call by name, it sits quietly in memory, not asking to be reclaimed. Some losses taught perspective, some endings brought relief. Some moments didn't change the world, but changed the way it's seen. Not every victory looks loud, not every scar shows through. Some healing happens quietly while nothing special comes to you. If strength had a shape, it wouldn't always be brave. Sometimes it would look like choosing another ordinary day. These were the days that didn't break us, didn't rush, didn't stall, just steady ground beneath our feet when we thought we'd fall. These were the days that didn't break us, and looking back feels true. Nothing magical happened, but nothing destroyed us too. There's a mirror I don't rush past anymore, not because I love what I see, but because I recognize the effort it took to stand here quietly. This face has learned how to hold things without asking to be saved, learned how to keep moving forward on days nothing felt brave. There were versions built for survival, for being needed, being liked. They carried more than they should have, to make it through the night. Some choices still feel unfinished, some doubts still show their shape. But nothing here is unfamiliar, nothing needs escape. Not everything unresolved means something is wrong. This is standing with who I am now, not who I plan to be. Not who looks stronger on paper or easier to believe. This is standing with who I am now without asking it to change. Letting the present breathe without rearranging the pain. There were days spent negotiating with fear, with hope, with time, trying to earn a sense of peace, like peace was something to buy. Learned how to soften instincts, how to delay my voice. Called it patience, called it kindness, never questioned the cost. Some habits still feel comfortable even when they don't belong. Letting go takes longer than knowing what's wrong. There's a difference between healing and pretending to be fine. One asks for honesty, the other just needs time. Not all strength looks certain, some looks like staying. This is standing with who I am now, without armor, without disguise. Letting emotions pass through without treating them like enemies inside. This is standing with who I am now, not rushing the design. Trusting that becoming doesn't need a finish line. There are still questions unanswered, still rooms I haven't explored, but curiosity feels safer than fear did before. The future doesn't feel demanding, it doesn't ask for proof. It feels like something unfolding, not something overdue. There's relief in letting moments arrive without control, and trusting that being present is already whole. No grand transformation happened, no dramatic release, just fewer reasons to fight myself and more room to breathe. Maybe self-acceptance isn't pride or confidence fully formed. Maybe it's choosing not to turn away when things feel unfinished or worn. Maybe staying is the courage, leaving once taught. Standing still with honesty is harder than it looks. This is standing with who I am now, not waiting to be more, not shrinking what already exists or bargaining with before. This is standing with who I am now, letting growth arrive on its own, not fixing, not proving, just finally being whole. Nothing is complete, and that's okay. You left your jacket on the chair, like you were coming back for it. The clock was loud, the room was bare. I practiced how to not admit your name was dancing on my phone. I turned it face down, let it breathe. Some nights you fight to not feel alone, some nights you learn what silence means. I used to think love was a fire, something you save before it dies. But standing there I felt so tired of always being the last to try. It was the night I didn't chase you, didn't run, didn't break in two. I let the door stay closed and quiet, like maybe that's what love should do. It was the night I chose my shadow over your temporary best when I was weak, when I would bend, when I'd explain. You said my heart was too unique, but only when it felt your pain. I memorized the way you would leave. No one is just a half smile. You always needed space to breathe. I always needed reasons why. I blame myself for being real, for wanting more than you could fake. But love that's real is supposed to heal, not teach you what to tolerate. It was the night I didn't chase you, didn't beg, didn't change my name. I watched you till life disappear and felt relief instead of pain. It was the night I burned the letters I never sent but always knew. I cried but I didn't chase you, that's how I knew I was through. Maybe love isn't running faster. Maybe it's knowing when to stay. Maybe hearts don't shatter, they just get tired of being played. I used to call that feeling fear, but fear doesn't feel this calm. I lost you, yeah, but somehow here I finally feel like I belong. It was the night I didn't chase you, no dramatic last goodbye. I let you walk into your future while I stood still and survived. If you ever miss the version of me that always fought for you, remember this, I didn't chase you, and that was something I had to do. So if you ask where love went wrong, it didn't, it just grew strong. You used to vanish when things got real. Call it space, call it time. Now you're standing in my silence like you didn't cross a line. You say you've changed, you've learned, you've grown, like growth is something you announce. But I survived you on my own while you were busy backing out. You loved me loud when it was easy, let me cry when it was hard. Funny how you need me now that I'm no longer yours to guard. You don't get to miss me now when I finally let out not to drown. You don't get to call this fate when you were the one who walked away. I was there when you were unsure, I stayed when love felt inconvenient. So no, you don't get to miss me now. I'm not the lesson you repeat. You like me better, full of doubt, asking if I was enough. Now I don't ask, I don't reach out, and suddenly that scares you off. You say my name like it's a door, like I'll just open if you knock. But I don't live there anymore. I moved my heart, I changed the lock. You call it pride, you call it cold, I call it peace I had to earn. I burned the bridges you still cross just to see if I would turn. You don't get to miss me now when I'm the calm you never found. You don't get to rewrite scars and call it love because you're lonely now. I was real when you were distant, I was steady when you fled. So no, you don't get to miss me now. I'm not your what if in the end. Missing me is not regret, it's just your ego catching up. You don't miss my heart, my depth, you miss how much I gave you up. And I won't hate you, no, that chapter's closed, I swear. But I won't shrink myself again just to prove I was there. You don't get to miss me now. I'm not the ghost you get to choose. I became everything I needed the moment I I stopped loving you. So if you feel it late at night, that hollow space you never filled, remember this: you lost me once and I stayed lost on purpose. Some doors don't slam, they just don't open anymore. Sometimes love isn't wrong, it's just early or late. We met in borrowed weather, rain that wasn't meant to stay. You were still chasing who you were, I was learning how to change. Your past was loud behind you, mine was learning how to sleep. We talked like we had time, but time was something we didn't keep. We were almost right, just not aligned, like stars that miss the sky. If we met 1 year earlier, or maybe 1 year late, would you have stayed a little longer? Would I have known the way? We loved like it was destiny, but timing had its say. If we met 1 year earlier, would we still walk away? You needed space to fall apart, I needed proof to feel secure. We asked for things the other one wasn't ready to give yet. For sure, you spoke in half decisions, I heard promises instead. That's how hope slowly turns into the things we never said. We weren't broken, we weren't wrong, just early hearts, too brave, too fast, trying to turn a moment into something built to last. If we met 1 year earlier, before the scars, the doubt, before you learned to disappear, before I learned to shout, would love have felt less fragile, less afraid of what it was? If we met 1 year earlier, would we have been enough? Maybe love is just a question, life answers in its own time. Some people are mistakes, they're just lessons in disguise. Don't regret the way you felt, I regret the timing more. We met at the wrong chapter, but you were never a wrong choice. If we met 1 year earlier, when we both still believed, would we have held on tighter, or would we still have bleed? Some love stories don't fail, they just don't get a rewrite. If we met 1 year earlier, we might have been right. I used to soften every edge, just so you'd feel safe around me. I went to speak in quieter tones, like my tree was too out to see. I made myself easy to read, left no mystery in my name. I thought love meant compromise, I didn't know it meant erasing. You like the version of me that never asked for space, but I grew past that silhouette, and you stayed in the same place. I'm not who I was for you. I don't got the way I used to do. I don't explain my silence now. I don't chase what already left the room. I'm not cold, I'm just alive with the things I used to hide. I'm not who I was for you, and that's the part I won't apologize. You say I've changed like it's a car, like oh there's something to defend, but I was tired of shrinking myself just to be easier to understand. I don't miss the constant doubt, it feels saying what I need. I found peace in choosing me and letting go of being easy. You call it distance, call it pride, I call it finally drawing lines. Not every loss is sent from broken, some I simply left behind. I'm not who I was for you. I don't wait around to prove that I need to be chosen anymore. I already made my move. I learned love shouldn't feel like war or quiet battles every night. I'm not who I was for you. I'm finally on my own side. I used to think staying was strength, turns out leaving can be too. Some doors don't close out of anger, they close because they're bent to chain you. I hope you find what you're looking for, just don't look for it in me. I'm not unfinished anymore, I'm just finally free. I'm not who I was for you. 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 And I won't rewind my life. Thunders edge of me. We're only meant to survive you. We never called it love out loud, like saying it would make it real. We danced around the truth somehow, afraid of what we'd have to feel. Your hand was always almost mine, your eyes said things you wouldn't say. We lived between the warning signs and called it just for now, okay. Every moment felt unfinished, like a sentence left half written. We knew better, still we stayed in the maybe, not the fate. We were almost something, almost more than just a name, almost brave enough to choose it, ask for less, when I laugh things off too fast, when I doubted every instinct and thought the hurt would pass. You loved me when I needed you more than I needed myself, when my world was out of focus and my words sat on your shelf. You called it balance, called it peace, but peace shouldn't feel this small. I kept mistaking comfort for something that could last. You loved me when I was smaller, easier to hold, easier to bend, when I needed your approval more than I needed to defend. But I grew into my own voice, learned to stand without your name, and somewhere in that moment your love couldn't stay the same. You said I changed like it was sudden, like it came out of the blue. But growth is quiet, it's gradual, it just stops asking permission from you. You miss the girl who waited, who thought patience was enough. But I don't miss explaining why my needs were too much. You say I'm distant, say I'm cold, say I don't feel like I did before, but I just stopped shrinking myself to fit the space you left me for. You loved me when I was smaller, when I fit inside your doubt, when my silence was convenient and my fire stayed turned down. But I learned love isn't safety if it only works one way. You loved me when I was smaller, I love me now that I've changed. Maybe you never meant to cage me, maybe you just like control. Some people don't want a partner, they want a heart they can hold. I don't hate you, no, I just finally see it clear. You didn't lose me suddenly, you lost me as I grew here. You loved me when I was smaller, but I was never meant to stay. I won't apologize for blooming in a way you couldn't face. So keep the memory you prefer of who I used to be. You loved me when I was smaller, but I love who I am now, finally. Stop folding yourself. There was a time every mistake felt heavier than it should. Every wrong turn became proof that I misunderstood. I thought growth would feel dramatic, like a sudden change of skin. Didn't know it would look more like staying when things feel thin. Some days felt like repetition, same doubt, same noise. But surviving quietly turned out to be a choice. I kept waiting for a moment where everything would align. Didn't notice how much living was already happening inside. Not every step feels forward, but it still counts. Still here, still learning, still finding better ways to stand. Not everything feels certain, but something feels more honest than before the rush, before the proving, before the need to understand. Still here, still learning how to live with what I am. There were habits built from fear that felt safer than the truth. There were dreams put on hold just to feel approved. I confuse being consistent with being right, confused staying quiet with keeping the peace at night. Some answers didn't arrive when they were asked. They showed up slowly after I stopped looking back. The need to explain myself started losing its grip. Turns out not everything meaningful needs to be translated. Not all progress feels like relief, some feels unfamiliar. Still here, still learning how to let discomfort stay, how to sit with unfinished thoughts without running away. Still here, still learning that healing doesn't rush. It just happens in small moments when showing up is enough. There are parts still unsure, still hesitant, still new, but none of them are broken, just waiting to be understood. Some days feel lighter than others, some still pull me down, but none of them ask to disappear now. I stop measuring my worth by how calm I appear. Strength doesn't always look confident, sometimes it looks like staying here. No big revelation happened, no clear sign to follow through, just fewer reasons to fight myself and more room to choose. Maybe becoming isn't reaching some perfect state of mind. Maybe it's learning to stop leaving yourself behind. Maybe peace isn't permanent, maybe it comes and goes, but knowing how to return to it feels like growth. Still here, still learning, not rushing who I'll be, letting time and effort work quietly. Still here, still learning how to trust the pace I'm in. Nothing fixed, nothing perfect, just finally listening. Still here, and that counts. Still here. Some things don't end, they just stop continuing. I still remember how it started, like a song before the words. We didn't know where we were going, but we knew what it felt like first. You talked about the future loosely, like it was something we could bend. I listened like belief was easy back when hope didn't need a plan. We weren't careless, just unprepared for how fast time would interfere. This version of us was never meant to stay. It lived in moments, not in days. We tried to stretch it into something more, but love can't live on almost anymore. This version of us was beautiful, it's true, but it doesn't exist the way it used to. Some things don't break, they just outgrow. This version of us had to go. We learned each other in fragments, late night talks, unfinished dreams. You wanted space to figure things out, I wanted certainty. We said we'd meet in the middle, but the middle kept moving away. I kept waiting for reassurance. You kept asking for time to change. We weren't wrong, we weren't blind, just loving at different times. This version of us was never built to last. It lived too yourself for not being what you needed when you didn't know it yourself. Some love teaches you timing, some love teaches you truth, and some love only exists to introduce you to you. This version of us will always live in the parts of me that learn to feel, but I won't carry it forward like it's something I still need. I'm grateful for what it showed me, even grateful for the pain. This version of us was real once, but it doesn't need to stay. Not every ending needs a villain. I defended you in rooms you never entered, made excuses you never had to hear. I stayed loyal to a version of you that only showed up when things were clear. I kept believing in potential, like it was something you'd outgrow. I loved who you could be tomorrow, more than who you were right now. I thought patience was devotion, thought waiting proved I cared, but love shouldn't feel like standing still while someone disappeared. I loved you longer than I should, longer than it made sense to stay. I called it hope, I called it faith, you called it finding your own way. I held on while you let go easily, like love was something you could pause. I loved you longer than I should have, and that's where I was wrong. You said I asked for too much, when all I asked was honesty. You said timing wasn't right, but timing was all you gave me. I learned your silence like a language, every gap, every delay, delay. Funny how I spoke your patterns while you forgot my name. I blame myself for wanting clarity, for needing something real, but a love that's always uncertain isn't love, it's just a deal. I loved you longer than I should, longer than my pride survived. I waited for a sign from you while ignoring mine. You kept your options open, I kept my heart on hold. I loved you longer than I should, and it cost me more than you know. Maybe love isn't about effort, maybe it's about alignment. You can't force someone to choose you when they're comfortable with silence. I don't regret the way I felt, I regret how long I stayed, confused in emotional distance with something worth the pain. I loved you longer than I should, but not longer than I could heal. I finally chose to stop waiting for something you never feel. So if you wonder where I went, why I didn't fight at all, I loved you longer than I should, and then I learned to walk. Oh, some love doesn't end, it just teaches you when to stop. Not everything we felt was meant to be explained. We didn't end with broken words or tears on the kitchen floor. We just stopped asking questions we didn't need answers for. Your presence faded slowly, like a color losing tone. I If I felt it, then it mattered, even if it's through. Some feelings don't need names, they just pass through. Not everything meaningful, not everything meaningful, not everything meaningful needs a definition. I used to think patience was love, that waiting meant I cared enough. I gave the benefit of doubt until doubt was all I had. I learned silence isn't peace when it's one-sided all the time. You can't build something real on half answers and maybe signs. I don't need dramatic endings or reasons wrapped in lies. I just reached the moment where enough finally felt right. I'm not waiting anymore, not for calls that don't come through, not for someone to decide if I'm worth choosing to. I don't need promises delayed or futures that stay unsure. I'm not waiting anymore, I finally closed that door. You said timing wasn't right, like time was something you controlled. But I can't pause my life while you figure out your own. I stopped checking for signals, stop reading between lines. If it isn't clear and present, it's not something I'll chase this time. And I don't ask for certainty, I ask for effort that shows. Love shouldn't feel like guessing or waiting on your phone. I'm not waiting anymore, not for maybes dressed as hope, not for words without direction or affection on hold. I don't need perfect answers, just something honest and sure. I'm not waiting anymore, I've waited long enough before. Maybe walking away isn't quitting, maybe it's choosing yourself. I held on longer than I should, now I'm putting me first. I'm not waiting anymore, I'm not standing in between. I won't shrink my expectations just to keep someone near. If love ever finds me again, I know what it's for. I'm not waiting anymore, I know what I deserve. Some choices don't need courage, just honesty. Used to measure every word before letting it exist, afraid that honesty would sound like too much of a risk. Learned early how to be agreeable, how to smooth every edge, how to carry conversations without saying what was left. Got good at reading rooms and knowing when to stay small, at adjusting expectations so nothing would fall. Called it being understanding, called it being kind. Never questioned how often the kindness crossed the line. Somewhere along the way, being became a role. This is learning myself without apologies, without shrinking to belong, without explaining every feeling like something was wrong. This is standing in my own reflection, not asking it to change, letting space exist between who I was and who I became. There were choices made out of fear, not because they felt right. Paths chosen for safety instead of quiet desire. Confused being needed with being valued. Confused consistency with something true. Held on to versions of myself that no longer fit, because letting go felt selfish and staying felt legit. Strength didn't feel empowering, it felt expected, like showing up intact was something always projected. No one tells you how exhausting being fine can be. This is learning myself without apologies, without editing the truth, without asking permission to feel what I do. This is choosing clarity over comfort and praise, letting go of the habit of living halfway. There are parts still figuring things out, still unsure, still slow. Not everything needs confidence to grow. Some days feel grounded, some feel unclear, but none of them ask to disappear. Learning how to sit with doubt without rushing it away. Learning how to trust my voice even when it shakes. Not every boundary feels natural, not every no feels clean, but peace started showing up where guilt used to be. Maybe self-love isn't loud or fearless or bold. Maybe it's choosing not to abandon who you are becoming when it's uncomfortable. Maybe growth doesn't look impressive from the outside looking in. Maybe it just looks like staying when old patterns begin. This is learning myself without apologies, without rewriting my past, without punishing every version that didn't last. This is standing fully present, no longer trying to prove that taking up space is something I'm allowed to do. Some journeys don't move forward, they move inward. I used to check my phone too much, like silence meant something was wrong. Now I let it stay untouched, and somehow the nights feel long but calm. I don't rewind conversations or fix words that already passed. I learned the future isn't waiting for me to relive the past. I don't need closure from you to know I'm okay. Some answers show up when you stop asking them to stay. I'm finally moving forward, not running, not afraid. I don't need everything figured out, just enough to walk away. I carried weight that wasn't mine, thought love meant holding on forever. Now I'm finally moving forward, lighter than I've ever been. I don't romanticize the hurt or pretend it made me strong. It just showed me what I deserve and what I've been accepting wrong. I don't hate who I used to be. She did the best she knew, but I'm done living an apology for wanting something true. I stopped asking if I'm I started choosing where I go. Peace doesn't need permission, it just needs you to say no. I'm finally moving forward, with both feet on the ground. I don't chase what doesn't choose me. Don't wait around. I don't need your understanding or your blessing to begin. I'm finally moving forward, and it feels like breathing in. Maybe healing isn't glowing up or proving you right. Maybe it's waking up one day and liking your own life. I'm finally moving forward, no looking back this time. What's ahead feels unfamiliar, but it feels like mine. I'm rushing, I'm not hiding, I'm just letting go of them. I'm finally moving forward, and I'm not the same again. Some chapters don't close, they release you. The room looks different in the morning, light its places it did before. Your absence doesn't scream anymore, it just settles on the floor. There was a time I couldn't stand it, every quiet felt like loss. Now the quiet feels familiar, like something I no longer fight across. I still remember how it started, too fast, too short, too intense. We thought love was all emotion, never questioned what it meant. We confused feeling deeply with knowing how to stay. We wanted all the answers before learning what to say. This is what stayed after you left, not the tears, not the fear, just the parts of me that learned how to stand right here. This is what stayed after you left, a calmer mind, a softer chest. Some things broke, but not everything. This is what stayed after you left. There were nights I replayed everything, every word, every tone. Wondered if one small difference could have changed where we'd gone. I tried to carry all the blame, like it made the ending clean. But love isn't a single moment, it's a pattern in between. You needed space to find yourself, I needed something solid to hold. Neither of us was wrong, just honest in different roles. We kept waiting for the timing, like it lives somewhere ahead. But timing doesn't promise anything, it just shows you where you stand. Oh, this is what stayed after you left, not the anger, not regret, just the understanding I didn't have back then. Yeah, this is what stayed after you left. Stronger roots, fewer questions. I lost the future I imagined, but kept the parts that mattered. I don't check your life anymore, not out of strength, not out of pride. It just stopped feeling necessary to see how you turned out. I hope you found what you were chasing, I hope it didn't cost too much. Some people teach you what love feels like, others teach you how to trust. I used to think endings were failures, proof something went wrong. Now I see them as conclusions to stories that ran their course too long. Maybe love isn't supposed to last forever, maybe it's supposed to change you, open doors you didn't know existed, then quietly excuse itself from you. If I could speak to that version of us, I wouldn't warn, wouldn't interfere. Some lessons only make sense when you're standing here. This is what stayed after you left, not the pain I used to feel, spilled coffee on their sleeve. A couple argued quietly about things they'd never solve. The day didn't feel important, no signs, no wait, just hours passing like they always do. But somewhere between scrolling without reading and answering I'm fine without thinking, something shifted. Nothing happened, but everything changed. No, everything changed. No breaking point, no one to blame. There was a version of the future that stopped calling. It didn't announce its absence, it just didn't show up. Old plans feel strange now, not painful, just outdated, like clothes that still fit but don't feel right. People talk about growth like it's a decision, like you wake up one morning and choose clarity. It doesn't work like that. But everything changed. No, everything changed. No breaking point, no one to blame. But everything changed. No, everything changed. No breaking point, no one to blame. The phone stayed face down, not as a statement, just because it didn't matter. Silence didn't feel empty, it felt accurate. There are questions that lose their urgency when you stop feeding them. There are fears that survive only when you keep checking. I didn't overcome anything, I didn't conquer the past, I just stopped visiting it so often. Maybe healing isn't noticeable, maybe no one claps. Maybe it just looks like being less reactive to things that used to ruin your day. Maybe that's enough. Nothing happened, but everything changed. Everything changed. No breaking point, no one to blame. Everything changed. Everything changed. No breaking point. The world stayed exactly the same. Bills, noise, routines, but reactions soften, and that's where it lives. Not in the story, not in the explanation, in the space between moments where you no longer brace yourself. Some endings don't close, they dissolve. Nothing happened, and somehow that was everything. Nothing ended in a single moment, no clear line where things fell apart. It happened slowly, unnoticed, like distance growing inside the heart. The days didn't warm before changing, they just felt slightly out of sync. Familiar places lost their meaning, conversations started to shrink. There were habits held out of comfort, not because they still felt right, just because they'd been there long enough to feel like part of life. We kept calling it just a phase, like time would turn it around. Didn't know that staying still was already moving on. Some shifts don't make announcements, they don't ask to be seen, they just quietly replace who you thought you had been. Quietly becoming someone else, not out of fear, not out of pain, just growing into different answers with nothing left to stop feeling real. Not because they were broken, but because time revealed some dreams didn't survive the years. They faded without regret. Others stayed but changed their shape into something safer to protect. Oh, the need to be understood started loosening its grip. Not everyone was meant to follow every chapter of the script. Peace didn't arrive dramatically, no closure seen, no sign, just fewer questions before sleep and calmer mornings over time. It wasn't strength that caused the shift, and it wasn't giving up. It was learning which battles no longer deserve the cost. Quietly becoming someone else without losing what mattered most. Not erasing the past, just loosening its hold. Quietly becoming someone else, no spotlight, no goodbye, just standing in the present without needing reasons why. The world didn't change its rhythm. Bills arrived, traffic stayed loud, but reactions softened, and that felt profound. Things that once felt urgent started waiting their turn. Not everything deserved attention. Some lessons didn't need to hurt. Relationships found their distance, some closer, some apart. Not every separation left a mark on the heart. There's relief in not narrating every step, every move, letting life unfold naturally without demanding proof. Maybe growth doesn't feel inspiring or powerful or brave. Maybe it just feels like waking up less afraid. Some changes don't arrive with clarity or confidence or pride. They show up as quiet acceptance of the life you're already inside. Quietly becoming someone else without rushing the design. Letting time do what it does best. Align. Quietly becoming someone else, still kind, still aware, just no longer standing where nothing fit anymore there. Some transformations happen while no one's watching. There were things we never said, not because they didn't matter, but because saying them felt heavier than silence. Conversations stay polite, careful, measured, incomplete. We learned how to avoid the truth while standing only inches deep. Smiles showed up on time, laughter knew when to appear. But underneath the ordinary day, something waited quietly here. Not every distance looks like leaving, some look like staying too long. This was the way we never spoke about, the kind that doesn't make a sound. It doesn't break you all at once, it slowly wears you down. This was the way we never spoke about, carried between words and doubt, loving carefully, breathing shallow, hoping it will work itself out. There were moments everything felt right, until the room felt still instead of a choice at all. There was love, yes, there was care, but love alone can't hold the ground when one heart keeps adjusting and the other stays unmoved. Maybe love isn't about staying at any cost, at any pain. Maybe it's knowing when silence starts sounding like self-betrayal. Maybe leaving isn't failure. Maybe it's the first deep breath after carrying something heavy that was never meant to be kept. This was the way we never spoke about, and laying it down feels strange, like learning how to walk again without dragging yesterday. This was the way we never spoke about. No villain, no disguise, just two people trying to love without knowing how to be alive. Some things don't end in anger, they end in honesty, and that is heavy too. There was a time the days felt louder, every thought needed a sound, every feeling needed answers, every loss had to be found. We thought knowing was the same as healing, thought clarity came fast, but understanding moves slowly and never looks back at the past. We talked about forever lightly, like it was something we could hold. Didn't know how fragile moments were until they slipped through what we told. Growing up doesn't feel like changing, it feels like letting go of who you thought you had to be just to feel whole. Somewhere between then and now, things started making sense. Not all at once, not perfectly, just quieter, less intense. Somewhere between then and now, the weight began to fall. Not everything was meant to stay, but something good survived it all. There were nights filled with conclusions that never saw the light of day. Arguments we won in silence, words we never chose to say. We blamed timing, blamed intentions, blamed the shape of who we were. But love isn't a single moment, it's a pattern over time blurred. Some people come to wake you up, not to stay inside your life. Some lessons feel like endings before they feel like right. It took a while to stop asking what went wrong back then. Turns out peace doesn't come from answers, it comes from when. Somewhere between then and now, the fear stopped running things. The past became a reference, not a place I lived in. Somewhere between then and now, I stopped holding my breath. Not everything turned out as planned, but it turned out better than expected. Mornings don't feel rushed anymore, they don't owe me clarity. I let the day arrive unfinished, and that feels like honesty. I don't romanticize the struggle or pretend it made me strong. It just taught me how to notice when something doesn't belong. The future doesn't feel so distant or heavy with demand. It feels like something unfolding, not something I need to command. Maybe life isn't about becoming someone completely new. Maybe it's slowly returning to what always felt true. Some growth looks like distance, some healing looks like calm, some strength looks like choosing to quietly move on. Somewhere between then and now, I learned how to stay present, not chasing what already left, not forcing what isn't meant. Somewhere Some things just slowly align.